Hey guys, we are super excited. We're going to be actually going over the 3-day trial, but in a manner where we're really teaching you and stopping and maybe throwing out some questions that you might come across. So this is when you're sitting down with someone that's interested in the 3-day trial. So what you want to make sure is you have everything ready. So you're going to want to have your 3-day trial out. You should already have your binder either bound or in a binder already printed out. This is really key because I'm going to tell you with the 3-day trial, the key is you duplicate this process. You don't go and skip this. You're like, I'm not going to do that. You need to make sure, I'm telling you, the people that duplicate are going to grow the faster. They're going to have their coaches feel confident in doing this process. And I'm telling you, the 3-day trial is brilliant. You're going to want to have your sheets for the wellness profile printed out. You're going to want to have your measurement sheet already. You're going to want to either have, this is called an Omron, which will do our body fat and our BMI. There's also called a Taniti scale. Some of you might decide you'd like to do that. We're going to demonstrate the Omron today. You're going to want to make sure you can get these through Herbalife, your measuring tape, and you're going to want to have a scale. Okay, so having all those things ready before you start is going to be real important, and that you're not running around, you know, trying to find things. Okay, so Deanna is going to be my customer, my client that's interested in the 3-day trial. So, you know, obviously welcome them. Make sure you're in an area that it's somewhat quiet. I mean, or that you can have some confidential atmosphere. You know, it's not out there in the middle of everywhere. That they're going to feel, you know, comfortable with that. So what we're going to do is you're going to have your profile sheet. So what we'll have, we're going to assume this front part's already filled out, okay, that she's sat down and filled that part out. And that's just her name, her gender, her height, okay? So then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this very first sheet. Guys, you're going to do it exactly like it is, okay? So what I would do, I would be like, Deanna, I'm super excited for you to start on the 3-day trial. And I'm going to read this, guys, almost word for word. I would start, I know you've heard a little bit of what I do as a wellness coach, but I just want to tell you a little bit more about us. You know, we provide the following service for our clients. So for one, it's a free wellness profile. 2, suggestions for improving eating habits. It's going to be assisted with weight management. You know, you're going to love the accountability, one-on-one support, guidance on developing a healthy, active lifestyle, and solid plans for achieving great results. Okay, this is going to build their confidence in what you are doing, that you're not just here for the sell of a 3-day trial, okay? It's going to give them that confidence. So the next page, guys, is going to be the questions. Now, this is going to be important because some of you might be doing what I used to do. I used to just give the client this sheet, have them just fill it out. It's kind of some dead time. I would definitely offer them if they want a water, if they would like a tea, maybe they haven't had a tea bomb, you can definitely offer them that. But what is different, what we want you to do so you have more interaction, because it's about making relationships. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this sheet here and I'm going to be asking her the questions, okay? So Deanna, I'm going to go ahead and ask you a few questions that's just going to help me help you in achieving your goals. So the first one, how many pounds would you like to lose, gain, or what is your health goal?
Yep, I'd like to lose 20 pounds.
Okay, so then you're just going to jot it down, you know, what they tell you. The next one is, what have you tried before and why did it not work for you? So have you tried anything before?
I've tried only eating protein.
Okay.
I've tried doing no fat and high carb diets.
So they might even give you a specific program, okay? And they might say, nope, I've never tried anything else, you know, so whatever it is, awesome, okay? And then there's the part of why do you think it didn't work for you?
Because I went back to bad habits.
Okay, so they're going to tell you. They might say it was too expensive. They might say, like she said, I went back to my old habits, or I didn't like it, or I didn't feel good. So jot that down. You don't get in huge conversations with this, guys, because one, this is a process of developing a relationship. You want to make good, or make sure that you two are a good match for a coach and a client, and that they really are serious, okay? So don't take one question and talk for like 10, 15 minutes, because the 3-day trial altogether should take 15 minutes approximately. So this keeps you on track by asking these questions, okay? And then it would be, what does a typical day look like for you, including breakfast, lunch, and dinner? So you're gonna see on this bottom part here, they're gonna tell you what they typically eat. You're gonna be noting their time and what they're eating. What do you snack on? And if they say, I don't snack on anything, you know, like, you're not like, oh no, that's not good. Just write down what they give you for their answers. And if they do snack, I'm just gonna ask what she snacks on. How many times during the week do you eat out? How much water do you drink throughout the day? You know, and sometimes you're gonna get some answers like, I don't know, you know, and they might just say 2 glasses. Just put down whatever those answers are. When are you most tired? And when are you most hungry? So that would be that first part of this profile, okay? So good relationship, you're asking them the questions, and then you're filling it out. Then what I'm gonna do next is, I'm gonna tell Deanna that we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna weigh, measure, and scan, so we have some benchmarks during our 3-day trial. So what you would do would walk over, and you have your measurement sheet, guys. So our scale happens to be over here, and I would just kind of talk to her as she's gonna weigh, and not like have it complete. You don't want a complete silence and like, okay, step on the scale and then no, nothing. So I would say, Dana, we're just gonna go ahead and weigh. So I have a baseline before we start, and then I then right away say, okay, and I'm not even gonna say anything about her weight. Okay, I'm not gonna say the number or anything. So then I would be, all right, let's come over here, and what we're gonna do next is we're actually gonna go ahead and measure, okay? Now, the key thing is when you measure, a couple things, that we get in the correct spots when we're measuring. Now, the other thing is, if I wasn't able to measure Deanna on day 4, you gotta understand that not everybody measures the same. The scale's gonna be the same, and Omron, but measurement's not, okay? So what I would be telling her, I'd say, the reason I wanna measure is, you know, we'll definitely probably notice maybe some weight loss on the scale, but another thing a lot of people notice is the inch loss, okay? They're just gonna feel better. I don't promise, like, we're gonna see, I know we're gonna see like 5 pounds come off, I know you're gonna lose, like, you don't wanna say any of that. The reason I wanna measure is because some people, a lot of times will notice the inch loss. Now, hopefully you continue with the Herbalife program, and then you're gonna have this from the day 1 that you started. So I'm gonna actually have you come right here, Deanna. And the reason I like to do this is, 1, I can measure and write at the same time. I don't have to drop the tape measure. So I'm gonna talk her through where I'm measuring. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go ahead and measure your upper chest. So I'm gonna have you raise your arms, and then I'm just gonna go right up here and have her put her arms down. And I'm going to have it just snug, guys. Like I can, you know, I could barely get my finger underneath it, okay? I'm not gonna be saying the numbers out loud, okay? So I'm gonna do this, and then my taper here, she can see how I can just reach right here, and I could write that down right now. I don't have to drop that. Then the next one, I'm just gonna have her go, I'm gonna tell you, the next one I'm gonna go right across the bus line, and you always wanna ask them, position the tape, measure right across the bus line. Again, just hold it snug, okay? And again, I'm still hanging on to the tape measure. I would jot that down. Then I'm gonna tell her I wanna do her waistline, and I'm like, oh my gosh, well, let's put it on the belly button. I always like that because that's a landmark that never moves. And there, you always get a nice little laugh out of that. Can do there. And notice how, guys, I'm not dropping that tape measure. I can then write that down, okay? Then I'm gonna do the waistline. So on your waistline, for women, it's always easier. You can see the widest part. Men, it's always a little bit harder, it seems like. And so again, you're just gonna hold it there, and then that's when I'm gonna drop the tape measure, and I'll write that down. Okay, so I'll jot that down. And then what I said next I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do her right arm. And so what I do is I have her raise her arm up, and then I have her bring it down. Go ahead and bring the arm back down. And I wanna get even with the bust line, okay? And so again, hold that good and snug. And then I'm gonna do the other arm. Same thing, have her hold it up. And then I'm going to have her put her arm back down. Go ahead and put that arm straight back down. And I just line it up right there with the bust line and hold it good and snug. There we go. Then the next one I'm gonna have, I want the inner thighs. So then I come up just right here and get, she has a skirt on, it's good it's a skirt, right? And I just hold it good and snug right here and just get up high so you can get, in women, again, it's a little easier to see. You have that little mark right here, and I would do her right and left. So that would be the measurements, okay? Again, I'm not gonna go over any of these. I'm not talking about any of these, because one, I gotta make sure she's serious that she's gonna meet with me on day 4, okay? Comes on day 4, I'm gonna let her know we're gonna go over all these numbers and what they mean. So the next thing I tell her, we're gonna use what's called an OMRON. This is gonna help us, again, set goals for you for your protein and your calories and that as we go along. So on the OMRON, guys, it's just an on-off. Then you hit set. And then I'm gonna do her height. So what I do, what is your height?
I'm 5'6".
And now here, we happen to be able to measure that. Most people know their height, but if not, I maybe would have her go over there and we can check her height out. If not, as long as you're within like a ½ inch, you're pretty good, okay? And then I ask them how old they are. So, how old are you?
51.
Okay. Sometimes people don't always remember their age, which is always kind of funny. So I just like to put it right here on the sheet, because this sheet I'm going to use a lot, okay? And then after I put in their, that's okay, I'll just talk through this part. The height, then I just hit the next one, and then I go to her age, and I put that in, and then when I'm putting in their weight, guys, I don't like stand there and like hold a button like, you know, like it's taking a long time or whatever. I talk to them, and then after we get their weight in, then I'm gonna hit the start button. And again, when you do this on the OMRON one, if you order one, they're like $50 maybe. Maybe you do your wellness profiles out of your home, or you're not in a nutrition club. Pretty inexpensive to get. And then I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna have you just hold it out like this, okay? And then I'm gonna hit the start button, and then I'll just hit that. And then she's just gonna hold her hands out there, good and tight there, and then it takes like, I don't know, 10 seconds. And then what I'm going to do on my sheet, I'm just gonna put the BMI and the body fat, I'm just gonna write those numbers down right on that sheet, okay? Then we're done. I'm like, okay, so we got that so we can see it on day 4. So I'm gonna come back over here. So far then, guys, we've done the weight measurement and the OMRON, and we've also filled out the wellness profile, okay? So what I'm gonna continue with now is why breakfast is so important. Now remember, I'm doing this in this style, in this manner to teach you guys, obviously, because 15 minutes is about how long you want this whole 3-day trial to last. And we'll do another one later where you can see that 10, 15 minutes, or 15 minutes usually, you're done, they're out the door, they're super excited. And Deanna, when you agree, like if you go too long, and if your friends are asking you like, oh, you know, Herbalife, I've heard of Herbalife. If I took an hour or 45 minutes with you, and your friends are like, well, you gotta sit down with somebody for 45 minutes to an hour, you're not as, I guess, excited to tell them like, hey, you sat down for about 15 minutes, it's super simple, because you want it to be simple, because one, what if this person someday wants to be a coach? They're gonna remember how simple it was, okay?
They start looking at their watch and they're...
Right. So I'm gonna tell you, I guarantee there's some people that maybe aren't using this. I was very guilty of it. I had to get it back out, and it keeps me so on track. And it's a visual, guys. Not everybody's great auditory learners, so another reason to get this out. And the successful people that are using this, they perfected it. It's awesome. So get this back out and start using it. So why breakfast is important. So this next part I'm going to talk about, you know, one, I learned either the person I'm sitting down with, whether they were having breakfast or it was a high carb breakfast, or maybe they were doing a good breakfast. So I'm going to show them the pictures of a carb-based breakfast. I'm going to read this, guys, just word for word here. Eventually you'll be able to summarize it a little. Then I'm going to talk about what it does to their blood sugar when they do skipping breakfast. And then I'm going to say in Herbalife, ours is the protein balanced breakfast, which equals less fat, and that's what's going to be in our 3-day trial, okay? So the next you're going to bring out the 3-day trial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I show her, and speaking of having everything out, for this, It was sitting here and I set it back. So you also have to make sure you have your 3-day trial sheets. There's 2 of them, okay? So, Deanna, what I'm going to tell you, everything I'm gonna say is gonna be on this sheet, okay? So that way they really listen to you, they'll be rest assured what you're gonna talk to them about is gonna be on this paper too. I'm gonna explain to her in this packet is gonna be her healthy meal, her meal replacements, cookies and cream. It's awesome. It's cookies and cream is our #1 flavor. So I'm gonna let her know she's gonna have one for breakfast within 30 minutes of getting up. She can shake it up, and I'm gonna ask her, do you have one of those shakers with the wire whisk, you know, that you can shake it up? Most people do, or she can blend it. It's really good, guys, to have them shake some of them up, because they're gonna know how simple it is, how quick it is. They might always blend them, but we want them to experience shaking up in a shaker. So I'm also gonna tell her that on this sheet, I'm going to show her how, you know, to make the shakes. So she can shake them up with 10 to 12 ounces of water. You can blend them with a cup of water. And then first one for breakfast. After breakfast, she's gonna have what's called a total control. This is gonna boost her energy, and it's going to help with her cravings. She's gonna want 16 ounces of water after the shake. 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch. There's 6 of them, so enough for 3 days. Then in the 3-day trial, there's 3 total control tablets, so you only need 2 packets, okay? So does that make sense?
Yes.
1 shake for breakfast, 1 for lunch, total control with 16 ounces of water. Important to have that first shake 30 minutes after you get up, okay? Then you're gonna have some snacks, and so what I'm gonna tell them is I'm gonna go over some snack choices. I'm gonna keep it really simple. I'm not gonna give you a huge list. So on here, here's just some snack ideas. And then always just kind of let them look a little bit at the snacks and say, do you see some snacks that you would, you know, like on there? And I, a lot of times, will have them just take a pen and just make a couple marks by some of them that they would like. So they make a couple marks on there. So we're gonna have a snack mid-morning if you're feeling hungry. If you're not like super hungry, you do not need a mid-morning snack. Mid-afternoon, most likely you will need one. So you're gonna pick one off here. But the important thing is you pair that protein up with a fruit or vegetable. We want to stay away from bananas and grapes. Berries are going to be their better choice because they're going to be lower glycemic. Then on this sheet, guys, it's also going to have some meal options, okay? Again, on their profile, you'll learn a little bit. Were they having snacks? Were they not? What were they having? What were they having for dinner? They might be saying, well, we usually go to McDonald's, or we usually have pizza for dinner. You already learned a little bit about them. So I'm going to show them what a healthy dinner option is going to look like on their plate. So we're going to want our protein, our healthy carb, and our fruit and vegetable there. And I'll say, how's that look?
That looks good.
That look good? So you're going to show them the choices of chicken, turkey, fish. Then at the bottom, I'm going to tell them, here's things to avoid. For the next 3 days, I need you not to have any of these. So I'm going to say white bread, alcohol, white rice. For 3 days, none of that. Are you okay with that? Okay? And some of them might be like, I don't know, you know, and they'll be fine, okay? But you need to, if you say, I'll try not to have, no, you need to set the rules and guidelines for them to have the best success on this 3-day trial. So then on that front, I like our little chart here at the bottom, so they should be able to check things off when they've had their check. It's just gonna help them achieve their goals, and they're gonna check that off, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this sheet right inside your 3-day trial. I'm gonna put it right in here. So remember, shake for breakfast, shake for lunch, mid-morning snack, if you feel you're hungry, mid-afternoon, lunch or dinner, and then your total controls after breakfast, 1 after breakfast, 1 after lunch. And then I know we talked about water, you're doing your total control with 16 ounces of water, and talk about maybe they're a really good water drinker, maybe they're not. Try to get them to double what they were taking for water throughout the day. So before they get done, you would need your phone there, and you would want to set up your day 4 appointment, okay? So on day 1, 2, and 3, so actually, all right, let's back up. So today is Monday. When do you think you want to start?
Well, I think I could be committed to 3 days starting on Tuesday.
Okay, so tomorrow, and if you're meeting with them like on a Thursday, and it's tomorrow's Friday, and they know they have a crazy busy weekend, they might wait till Monday. So they're gonna commit and let you know when they wanna start. So if you're gonna start on Tuesday, so what I'm gonna do tonight, I'm just gonna send you, I have some little tips that I like to send. I'm gonna send that to you tonight. I wanna let you know that if you have any questions at any time, let me know. And then I'm gonna send you a little message with another little tip on day 1, day 2, day 3. What I want you to do, even though we weighed here tomorrow morning, do you have a scale at home?
I do.
Okay, could you weigh on that? Just send me a picture of your feet on your scale. Send that to me tomorrow morning. I do not want you to step on the scale again until day 4, and then you're gonna send me a picture again. I'm so excited. Okay, so you would take their $20, whether they wanted to pay cash or if you have your PayPal or ProPay set up, you can run it through your phone. And then, so what we're gonna do on day 4, we're gonna get together. So that would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Does this time work or does another time work on Friday better for you?
Let's do it this time.
Okay, so make sure both of you get it in your planner or in your, not planner, but it could be in your planner or on your phone. Both verbalize the time. It's always great to send them a message that morning or the night before, which you will have a little bit in your message. And here's the other thing, guys. In those messages, the night before, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, do not change what is on our website. You send them exactly what it says, other than hi Mary or hi Sam, whoever the name is, the picture and the message. Don't reinvent the wheel with that, okay? So we're set up. She has her 3-day trial. The last thing I'm gonna do is, Deanna, what I love to do, I love to take a picture with the 3-day trial. If you're okay with that, I'd love to be in the picture with you. Post it on my page and your page if you're okay with that.
Sure.
So then we would go, see how I'm getting permission for her to post it on my page and her page, because what can happen is some of her friends are gonna say, 3-day trial, I'd like to do a 3-day trial. And I'll see that. Okay, she's gonna have some people, and that's how you're gonna get referrals. And I always say, you know, if you know of anybody else that'd be interested in doing the same thing we did, let me know, okay? So hopefully that shows you the flow, guys. We will do another one where we actually go all the way through that, but that we felt would be hopefully more helpful, explaining and going through how to measure, how to go through that 3-day trial. Everything's on your sheets, okay? And make sure you have this. All right, guys, go after the 3-day trials and working with your clients.